Hello everybody and welcome to the Western region again. In this episode we will be creating new regional forms for our own Pokemon region based on Mexico and its myths, creatures and legends. The first evolutionary line that we're covering today will be the Zubat line, so Zubat, Golbat and Crobat. The reason I decided to make regional variants of these is the fact that I want to make some sort of bat Pokemon based on the Vampire Bat for my region, but instead of creating yet another bat Pokemon line, I thought about changing the design of these classic Pokemon. So, about the Vampire Bat. They live in dark places and caves in Mexico and most part of Latin America. Some people who live close to tropical or rural areas have been prey for these bats. While not lethal, they can transfer illnesses such as rabies to people. They are really precise since they can sense temperature changes, so they can know where the blood is running to bite a sweet spot where they can start sucking the blood with their tongues. They are the only kind of bat which feeds only from blood, being the main inspiration for vampire myths and legends across the globe. Of course, Mexico has some vampire-like creatures in myths, but we will save that for the future. Here we are going to focus on what they represented for ancient cultures, which was reincarnation but mainly death. Bats were a strong symbol for darkness and were often depicted with their wings spread to represent death. There is even a Mayan god named Camazotz, which was a big humanoid bat, which's purpose was to spread death and kill people, even though it was also said to have curative abilities and save people from illness. So basically it could play with that barrier between life and death. Experts think that a creature such as this existed because of some remains found in a cave in the north of Venezuela. Here we are talking about the Desmodus draculae, or giant vampire bat. So the fact that ancient people saw this creature and thought it was an angel of death are quite likely, which just makes this myth even creepier. Let's start designing these Western forms once and for all. I wanted to go for a classic vampire look for the first stages, since vampire bats are the main reason why the vampires exist as a popular myth. I made the upper fangs to be bigger to resemble that, and also I wanted it to look very sharp. Poison Zubat is a dark and flying type, since the myths surrounding the vampire bats suggest so. They vanish in the shadows and live in dark caverns. This ancient Pokémon has not changed over the years in Western, since their mysterious powers have not been affected by humans. Its abilities are long reach because vampire bats are quite fast and very precise, and perish body to go with the dead element, even though it's a hidden ability. I'm not a big fan of the original Golbat design, so I tried to make it better while keeping the core elements, so I changed the eyes and ears and stuff. Also, the characteristic nose from the vampire bat is in this line. Western Golbat remains a dark and flying type. They use supersonic waves to know where they are since they are blind. They hate sunlight and cover themselves in their wings when exposed to it. Now it's time for Crobat, and just like its normal form, I wanted it to be really distinct from the other pre-evolutions. I gave it an ancient and mystical look since it's mainly based on Camazotz. I gave it some golden accent because gold was used to worship the bad god of death. Even though it will be a dark type, I don't want it to be necessarily evil. Dark type is going to serve as the reason of its mysterious powers and its abilities with shadows and stuff. Crobat in Wesa, it's a dark and ghost type. The ghost type fits a lot because of its relationship with death. Ancestors thought it was a demon because of its size, but truth is, they fly at night trying to save people who perish from darkness. They are fast and drink Pokémon blood while trying not to harm them. Next up, I'm going to go for a regional evolution instead of a whole regional form evolutionary line. Natu and Satu are cool Pokémon from Johto, but they've always seemed quite incomplete to me, mostly because of their amazing origins. You see, they are based on totems, but what stands out to me is that they are also based on quetzals, which are a very beautiful and mythical bird from Mexico and South America. Here in Mexico it represents air and it is said to have magical powers. Satu is supposed to see the future and stand still, much like a totem. Even though it knows what happened in the past and what will happen in the future, it does not desire to change it. Which takes us to this evolved form. What if it decided to do something about it? What if it desires to help in some cases? Like a secret guardian of some sort. I want it to look very aerodynamic and ready for action in its pose. I give it a big tail like the ones quetzals have. By leveling up Satu in some special areas in Wesa, you'll get Quexatu, a mix between Satu and Quetzal. It's now a psychic and fairy type. They remain asleep and just wake up in rare occasions to prevent the tragedies it sees on its sleep. Some mystical places in Wesa are the reason for their unique evolution in here. More information about these locations will be revealed later on in the development of this region, just like the Quetzal and its myths, which I have plans for the future too. That's it for today's episode. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video and learned something new. As always, the designs in this video will be posted in my Instagram account, so follow me in there, and there's a link in the description down below. In the next episode, we will be redesigning even more regional variant Pokemon, so subscribe and ring the bell to stay tuned. Thanks for watching and see you all in the next video.